Some things we can't say.
Yeah.
Well, basically, we've all been playing music in Ireland since the last at least 5 to 10 years. Like Matt had his own, the lead singer had his own kind of project of just singing on his own guitar and crooning away. And myself and Emer and Danny and Ross, the drummer, playing with loads and loads of different musicians in loads of different bands. We just kind of kept on bumping into each other at various different gigs and started chatting about maybe getting together and trying something out. So myself and Matt started writing together, just for the hell of it, as much as anything. And really enjoyed what we were doing. And the other guys heard it and they wanted in on it. And it was quite a natural kind of coming together of ideas and forces. It was because Matt is Australian, because we're Irish, he thought that it would be funny to go on the international. And it was initially just for one show, just one gig. Myself, Danny and Matt played a show under the moniker of One Day International. And
name One Day International, he strenuously denies that it's anything to do with cricket, but the fact he's from Tasmania.
Yeah, I don't. He said he just likes the way it sounds. But
loves cricket.
Yeah, so it's a bit suspect, but he claims there's nothing to do with it. We don't believe him. Well, lots of the bands we play in a couple of the same bands. Like say myself and Cormac play in a different band called Villagers, and a member of Lisa Hannigan's bands. Cormac used to play with The Lost and I played with a couple of times, so it's all kind of interlinked and everyone's been very welcoming. If they think you're good enough, they're happy to offer you a gig. And
I think it's very small. It's a really small community of people who are genuinely working. And so if your profession is to be a musician, then it is a small community of people, and they are very welcoming. And it's exciting. I think it's exciting, and people need to see new music because it's so small. Also, everything can get old quite quickly. So yeah, I think people are eager to see and hear new things.
Like the great part of it is when you go away, like say if you do a festival abroad, like we just did South by Southwest in Austin, Texas there a week and a half ago, and Lisa was there, and Wallis was there, Vyvienne the Apes were there. There was 22 Irish acts, all from a wide diversity of music, you know, which doesn't like. It's really great when you go over there and you really find out what Dublin's like as a music scene. Everybody is so supportive of each other, regardless of what the style of music you're playing. You know, like Vyvienne the Apes would be completely different from us, and we got on like a house of fire. You know, there's no competitive nature as such. You know, at least I hope there isn't. I'm sure there is with some people, but we haven't experienced it, thankfully.
It's a little bit of a culture shock walking down 6th Street, which is where the main events are on. There's 2,000 bands really vying for the attentions, and they're playing the best they can play so that they'll be heard over the band beside them. So there's a real energy about the place. But I think the best thing that I saw, there's so many gigs to go and see. I saw PJ Harvey and John Parrish, fantastic, in this kind of outdoor venue. Austin's full of these amazing venues. But there was gigs in grocery stores, there was gigs in toilets, there was laneways. I mean, it was open to everything. It was just open season. Yeah.
That's the way we approached recording. Was we'd go in and do a session and record, maybe aim to record 3 or 4 songs, get the bones of them down, and then spend time elaborating. And the session we did, Black as the Bird, was the final session. We also did Darken Your Door, and it was just, we also did it in a different studio, and it just, we recorded the bass and drums in separate studios to where we did the rest of the album, just for the rooms, and we did it in the studio called The Cauldron, and it was just a really productive day, and we sat back at the end and we're really happy. And other sessions would, the final result we'd be happy with, but getting there was a lot tougher just for sounds, and we need to revisit things a lot more. And it was a case of the band becoming more of a band then, and creating our music as opposed to putting it on top of songs. So that's, I think, when we really felt sort of, it was becoming a proper band as such.
What I hear is the process of creating a band, similar to what Danny was saying. And like, there's tunes that were at the start, like Miss Your Mouth and Not Over You, which was from the first session we ever did, which essentially was just, Emer hadn't even joined the band at that stage. So it was so timid in how we were being creative. We were being really solid about being creative, but we didn't really know each other as musicians. Well, by the time we got to halfway through the album, Lead Balloon started pulling out a bit more, and then Black as the Bird, like the guy said, we were really kind of throwing everything at the book. Like, I remember at one stage for Black as the Bird, the five of us were in the studio with metal bowl, pebbles, salt, seashells, and crunching them and recording the sounds, trying to get a percussive nature to drive it along, and just constantly experimenting. So the more we played together, the better we understood each other, and the more we wanted to kind of just explore. Okay, so when we recorded the album, we didn't really play. We played, I think, like a handful of gigs, less than 10, because we wanted to isolate ourselves with the songs and not really expose it to anything else but just the writing and recording and arranging process. So taking the album on the road and gigging it has been exciting for obvious reasons. You get to develop the songs beyond the point that you can in the studio, where it's completely about feeding off an audience and the vibe and the atmosphere, and you kind of push things and you pull it, and it gets the really interesting part of it, which mightn't work on record, but does work live. And then that really influences how you write. So the newer stuff that we're writing, it's like, I don't think we would have ever written if we hadn't been going out touring and gigging constantly and really pushing things around.
We're really working very hard on putting on a show. So we have a light show, we have visuals, we have everything. I think we're going to try and give people an experience when they walk in, that it's not just like turning on an album at home, except the banner in front, kind of doing their thing, you know. Really want to give a show. I think that's apparent with the fact that we're working on a film and scripts that we can put our music with also, and so it's kind of the whole package that we're going for. So it's, yeah, challenge, good challenge.